My name is Marilyn McHugh from UC Today, bringing you all the latest news and conversation from the UC and collaboration space. Today, I am joined by Rory Read, CEO of Vonage, and we will be discussing the company's phenomenal growth as well as its refreshed channel strategy. Rory, hello, welcome to UC Today. How are you doing?
Hi, Marion. I'm very well, and I'm super excited to join you today to talk about the industry and what's happening in this revolution of communications that's going on.
Fantastic. Before we do a deep dive, could I just ask you to give a little summary of yourself and the company?
Sure. So I'm Rory Read. I've been in the industry about 38 years. So I started as a programmer, believe it or not, in IBM, where I worked for 23 years across IBM services, IT. I was the CIO of PC Company. I was the CIO of Global Services. I ran sales for the global electronics industry. I ran consulting for the industrial sector. I ran IBM.com during my career, a lot of different experiences. I kind of feel like I owe IBM for the training they gave me for those 23 years. Great experience. Then I went on to Lenovo, where I was their president and chief operating officer for 5 years, where we went from number 6 or 7 to number 2 or 3, and ultimately number 1 after I left. Then I had the opportunity to become the CEO and president of AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, which was one of my very favorite jobs. I had the opportunity to go hire Lisa Su and Mark Papermaster, Jim Keller, Raja Koduri. And we really went on a long journey to kind of win those gaming platforms and then to build what ultimately became the next generation architecture, which became Zen and the Epic computing platform. So great experience. And then from there, I had the opportunity to work for Michael Dell for 5 years as his chief operating executive. Basically, I worked on whatever was the hot topic for him at the time. So I did the transformation of their go-to-market at Dell. I ran the integration of Dell EMC for 2.5 years with Howard Elias, really the biggest tech integration in history. And I think it went pretty well. Now I'm biased, Miriam, but I think it went pretty well. I also had the opportunity to lead Dell Boomi, Dell Virtustream, 2 high growth cloud and software as a service integration platforms. And then most recently, I joined as CEO of Vonage just about a year ago. And I'm super excited to be in this space. I think it's the right space at the right time. In your career, you have these opportunities where you've seen technology waves. I've seen mainframe to client server and then to the internet, mobility, the cloud. I think internet, mobility, and cloud are all coming together to create this opportunity for conversations across all types of industries and workflows and applications. It's how we're going to engage with customers. I sure will talk about that a little bit more as we go. But that's a little background about me. Vonage is a 20-year company that's been in place over the past 20 years, started in the voice over IP space, and did a strategic pivot about 5 years ago into the API UCCC space with a series of strategic acquisitions. And as I mentioned earlier, Marion, I took over about a year ago. Company had done well, but had some execution challenges and opportunities to really knit it together to capture this next wave of technology. And that's what we've been working on. It's a very fast growing company. 40% growth in the API space, 23% growth in our service, all across our platform, what we call the Vonage Communication Platform. And really all customers of all sizes, from very small all the way to largest enterprises. You're going to see a lot of things that we talk about, and I'll mention Vonage does that. Whether it's, you're getting information about a ride sharing arrival or a delivery of your coffee or food, Vonage does that. That's what we do. We make those things happen.
And a great jumping off point. As you noted, you started last year as CEO at Vonage at a very tumultuous time in the industry and the world. Rory, what was your primary goal when you took over as chief executive, and do you feel as though you've achieved that goal yet?
So, Marion, I can imagine for you, it's been very similar as you joined UC and became part of this team. It's such a unique time to be part of that and to see the kinds of changes. I hope everyone on the call is safe and healthy. That's number one. But imagine becoming a CEO of a billion and a half dollar business and really not having the opportunity to meet people in person until just recently. Matter of fact, over the first 12 months, I think I met about 5 people face to face from the company. Yet I had thousands of meetings. I met hundreds of customers, hundreds of partners. And it was because of the technology we're using today that allows that to occur. So what were some of the goals? I think Vonage has a history of really thinking about what's next and doing it. And they've always had a passion for innovation, but maybe some of the execution was a little bit soft in areas. What my challenge was to really create a culture around collaboration, a culture around execution, to really focus our innovation on those innovations and technologies that make the biggest difference to our customers. There's unbelievable trends that are emerging around the integration and combination of unified communication and contact centers, the application of APIs in every kind of multimodal communication modes across every workflow and every application. What I needed to do as part of this 3-year transformation of Vonage was really create a new, stronger culture, set forth a 3-year plan, right? And we kind of said, let's measure ourselves on the rule of 40. We're a software technology company. Software technology companies combine their profitability, our adjusted EBITDA, and our service revenue growth. When I joined Vonage, we had a rule of 40 number of 10, which isn't particularly spiffy. But over the past year, in the first and second quarter, we lifted from 10 to 23. And next year, we talk about going to the mid-20s. Maybe we'll do that a little bit earlier. We'll see. And then the year after that into the 30s. And I think that's a reflection of a strong execution software company that's making a difference. And what's really powerful about Vonage is so many customers, large and small, trust us in this communication revolution. And I think, Marion, this is where this is going. I think it's been about specific, messages or videos. What it's going to become is an ongoing conversation with customers across every industry, a conversational platform, an engagement platform. That's where we're going to ultimately take the Vonage Communication Platform so that companies can interact with their customers around commerce, support, marketing in a real-time way, 24/7, anywhere. And that's where I meant the conversation earlier about that we're at this kind of next wave of technology, right? We saw the internet wave, and then we saw, mobility and the cell phones and the explosion of that capability and the societal change around it. And then the cloud, the ubiquitous delivery of infrastructure globally. And now layer on top of this communications wave. That's going to knit together to create this engagement future. So we're about 1 year into this 3-year transformation. I'm really proud of the results. Go look at our first and second quarter results, well ahead of expectations. We raised the guidance for the balance of the year. Customers are reacting to what we're doing, and they see the value in the technology, and they see the beginning of this amazing 3, 5, 7, 10-year run around how communications are going to change the way companies interact with customers everywhere across the planet. I think pretty cool.
It is. And on the note, you recently celebrated another quarter of strong growth. Congratulations. In the results call, you noted that UC and CC were in particular, seeing big growth. Rory, could you tell me a little bit about what is driving this growth and how events of the past 18 months have have filled in here with these technologies?
Marion, I think what we're seeing is there's two big drivers that are driving this unified communication contact center kind of hyper growth over the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years. I think one is the migration of metal to the cloud. I think there's hundreds of millions of more seats to migrate to the cloud. I think we're probably 15, 20% through that migration and transformation. I think that's going to drive a huge amount of activity. And the second one is the societal change around the acceptance of video, voice, virtual experiences in everything we do, from education to entertainment to medical to commerce to support. And I think where we're really going to go is we're going to see this next wave of engagement around conversational commerce in pretty much every industry. And I think customers are really reacting to that kind of set of innovations. And I think UCCC, what we're also seeing is this combination. We're seeing more and more of our pipeline have a combined unified communication and contact center solution, where more than 50% of our largest deals in the last quarter were those kind of combination solutions. And I don't care, Marion, whether it's very small customers, small business, medium business, or some of the largest enterprises in the world. They're all going to go through this transformation. 38 years, I'm old. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen, like I said, mainframe to client server, and then the internet and mobility and the cloud. We're going to see this next wave of communication and this virtual set of experiences. Think Star Trek, think Star Wars, think that's where we're headed. And it's really going to happen now. We're in the right space at the right time. And communications are going to be at the center of this new virtual set of engagements. I think very powerful. I think what's driving our UC and CC growth, strong product fit, the move from metal to cloud, 80% of that yet to go. And this powerful combination of UC and CC together, we already see our cloud business in that area growing, high double digits, mid-high double digits already. And it's only accelerating. We can really see the momentum of this. I think this lasts 3, 5, 7 more years.
And we also recently saw Vonage revamp its partner program. And indeed, on that Q2 earnings call, you mentioned the partners played a role in 2 of the largest deals of that quarter. Rory, can you tell me a little bit more about, how integral is the channel to Vonage's success now?
Marion, there's no question, Marion, that the channel is key. It's a multiplying effect. Whether I was in IBM or Lenovo or AMD or Dell, the channel always plays an amazing role. You can only have so many direct sellers, but when you leverage the channel, you get a multiplying effect of that. I believe in the channel. I've always believed in the channel. I believe that it gives you the reach and scope and creates a value with so many more customers than you could do just by yourself. So since I've been here, we've been investing in what we call Vonage Accelerate, which is around platform, education, better incentives to drive a closer relationship with our channel partners. Matter of fact, I've met with hundreds of channel partners over the past year, but I'll meet with about 20 to 25 of them over the next 30 days, where I'm just having one-on-one conversations to say, hey, how are we doing? What are we doing to make you successful and your customers successful? I need that feedback. I remember Michael Dell used to remind me, he'd go, Rory, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means you should listen twice as much as you talk. And I think we have to do that with the customers. As we create a customer first culture at Vonage, by listening to our partners and our customers, they'll tell us what we need to know. And if we take care of them better than anyone else, we leave no room for our competition. And so I'll spend a lot of time over the next 30, 45 days just doing a check-in to make sure I'm getting the latest feedback, the information, what makes the channel successful, and how can Vonage do more of that to help them expand the base. You're going to see this be a centerpiece to our strategy, across 22, 23 and beyond. I mean, this is how you reach so many more customers. And I think we're making really good progress. Again, I'd say we're halfway through our transformation. I think we have the next year or two to really burn it in and really execute. And it's about building trust. At the end of the day, when the partners see that we're committed to their success and their customers' success, and that flows through our core, they'll bring ever more business. And we're already been seeing increasing trends across our pipeline and across our bookings and even our revenue.
And speaking of trends and opportunities for partners, where do you see the opportunities for partners going forward? What do you think they should be focusing on?
Yeah, I think partners should really focus in a couple of areas. I don't want to be presumptuous. This is just my point of view. I think they know better than I do, but I'll give you a couple of thoughts. I think there's a huge opportunity in this migration of metal to the cloud. I think we've got 80% of that yet to go, millions of seats. And there's opportunities where it creates better economics, better solutions, better integration. And most importantly, it positions us for this next wave of communications, this engagement platform concept, this conversational concept where we're going to see every workflow, every application begin to knit these experiences together. Partners, where they create the value is they understand that customer, that local customer they're working with better than anyone. And by working with Vonage together, we can bring the right innovations, the right technology, and the right vision, which in our Vonage Communication Platform is robust, API based. So all APIs, so you can build and upscale. You're future proof from the get-go. Then you have UC. So you're going to have infrastructure on the cloud to deliver communications in a unified way. And then contact center, because we're going to knit commerce, support, and marketing engagement together. All of those pieces fit together. And people said, Vonage should be just a pure play. And we've said, no, we're building Vonage Communication Platform. We see where the industry is going. Look at the acquisition, the two big players, I forget, maybe Zoom and
Five9.
Five9s, okay? I think that reflects a lot about where the industry is going. We've already amassed those activities. We're working with the channel. And I think that combination where partners want to really is create that deep relationship with their customers, which they do better than anyone. Two, help them migrate from metal to the cloud, huge opportunity. Put in place the integrated UCCC, contact center capability, and then position those customers for this migration to engagement, conversational commerce, to this ubiquitous kind of connection point through multimodal communications that allows that customers to engage with. We can work anywhere and conduct business through these new communication ways in a powerfully meaningful way. This is just the beginning of where this is going. And channel partners who see that future, build the infrastructure and capability, and take their customers on that journey, boom. That's how they create value. That's how they win more customers. And that's how they grow. And we're going to be right there with them to help them do it.
And on that note, you mentioned the Zoom acquisition or the proposed acquisition of Five9. Obviously, they're seeing opportunity in the contact center space, but Vonage already has that UCaaS and CCaaS offering. Rory, can you tell me how those two technologies are driving opportunities for both partners and for customers?
Yeah, there's no question. Every solution, particularly in support, needs unified communications. And the idea where these solutions aren't strongly integrated together is an old idea, There's so much opportunity to make them more seamless and create a better experience in terms of where the customer gets linked to which agent and how much information and data is there and how it transfers around. And then embedding video, which we've just recently done into our capability to give that richer experience. And then ultimately building that across this multimodal kind of set of engagement. So you get a call into the contact center. It comes in through your unified communication, gets to the right channel, the right agent. The agent has the right information. They share a video clip at the same time. They follow up with a message and in real time and maybe 2 or 3 days later to give that rich, ubiquitous connection and engagement with that customer. That's different. That creates a better experience and will generate more business and a better customer sat for that customer. And partners create this journey with Vonage. What they do is they get that customer to make the journey from metal to the cloud, because that positions them to really create this next generation. Then they begin to embed UC and CC more integrated together, which we already do very well, and many others are going to continue to build that out. We'll continue to extend that. And then what you do is you embed APIs into it to link video, messaging, email, and create this experience, this engagement. It's not just a one-time event. Think about that as a channel partner, how much business, how much value they can create with their customers by taking and helping them on this journey, because they're all going here. This is what's going to happen over the next 3, 5, 7 years. It's definitely occurring. And it's such a huge opportunity. Just think about it. 100 millions of seats yet to migrate to the cloud. The amount of integration from UC and CC just at the beginning. And then this engagement concept across multimodal communications, that's going to fuel this next wave of technology again for the next decade.
And Rory, my final question for you is one that's looking forward. What else can we expect from Vonage in the remaining 2 quarters of the year?
Well, I think, Marion, the key to Vonage is execution. We've created a new culture, which we call the Vonage Way. And in that culture, it's about collaboration, always customer first. And no matter what you do, make every decision from the customer back. Too often businesses get so focused internally, they lose track of what the value is. They're creating value for their customers, and that customer is successful, that company is successful. They win, we win. We create that culture around, customer first mentality, collaboration, where we all work together to create this success, and then around execution. I do what I say and I own what I do. From Vonage, what you're going to see is we're going to do what we say and we're going to deliver on that. We're going to consistently make sure that what we say to the market, to our investors, to our customers, they can count on. They trust us with some of the most difficult, problems to solve on the planet. And this migration into the next wave of communications is going to set new winners and losers in every industry. By partnering with us, we can help them on that journey now, creating what's next now and into the future. That's what Vonage does. Vonage does that. Over the next 2 quarters, expect us to execute. Expect us to show strong growth in terms of our business. We already have the rule of 40 in the mid, 23 level. We've already increased guidance for the second half of the year. We're going to continue to grow and build innovations. 2022 will be the year of the product in Vonage. We've been working the past 12 months and the next 6 months building new innovations to bring to market. And you're going to see us accelerate that delivery because we've increased our investment significantly over the past 12 months. We're going to see 22 and 2023 as the years of the product, because product creates those experiences for our customers that truly allows them to differentiate. I'm super excited about what the future holds. You can expect us to execute. You can expect us to listen to our customers And you can expect us to see where this industry is going and to help our partners and our customers realize this amazing opportunity of the future of this engagement, this conversational commerce, this multimedia, communication mode kind of engagement. This is going to change the world. And the society is ready for it. They already expect it. And because of the transition around the pandemic, as awful as it was, it reinforced these technologies. And it began to make this move accelerate. The next decade is going to be an amazing decade for communications, engagement, and conversations. It's going to be a powerful time. You chose the right industry to get tied up to. It's going to be a fun ride.
Rory, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure, Marion.
And that's it from me. If you've enjoyed today's session with Rory, please like and share on social media. It's always appreciated. I'm Marilyn McHugh with UC Today. Thank you for watching.